because we have kids that aren't ready to go into certain areas. For example, I think we push college way too much. Guilty. My wife and I have two beautiful daughters. We pushed them both into college. One flourished in college. The other, she wanted to be an actress. College did not benefit her at all, or I shouldn't say not at all, but was very insignificant. We did her a huge disservice. We paid for everything and we encouraged her to go. So the relationship between schools and business is key. I know in Westchester we started some internships to get businesses and schools together. We've gotten Butler Tech together with our businesses and businesses that are thinking about coming to Westchester so they can work on curriculum. So that when kids graduate from Butler Tech, they're ready to go to work. One of the 4 pillars is workforce development and having kids, when they come out of school, ready to do one of 3 things. In my opinion, they need to be ready to go to college, join the military, or go to a job, whatever they prefer. Or, this is America, if they want to be a bum, they have the power to do that as well. But I think our schools should focus on those 3 things, and business are critical in 2 of those 3 things.
All right, Kathy, you're up.
Yeah, George mentioned the partnership between Lakota and a lot of our local businesses around here, and I think that's a great thing that we've been doing, the partnership with, for instance, Westchester Hospital and some of these other, through the chamber, gives kids a really great chance to be exposed to new career opportunities and avenues that they might not have already had. And I think a lot of this new career readiness programming is great. We also need to partner with businesses and labor organizations to expand job training and apprenticeship programs. We hear all about the skills gap all the time, right? There are skilled jobs ready without workers to take those jobs. We need people to build bridges. We need people to run electric for corporations. We need people to do these jobs. These are good paying jobs. I was down at the Iron Workers in Kentucky a few weeks back, and I will tell you what, they have an impressive apprenticeship program. It takes about 4 years. It makes me feel good as someone who doesn't like bridges. It takes about 4 years for them to go through all of their training and be able to work efficiently on a bridge. By the time they finish that, if they just want to take a couple of courses over at their local community college, they have a bachelor's degree. And then they finish and they start work at $90,000 a year. And they have great benefits. That's really amazing. This is one of those ways that we can partner with business and labor organizations to prepare kids for a successful future.
10-second rebuttal? Actually, not a rebuttal, but
We'll give you 30 seconds.
I only need 10. I agree with everything Kathy said. All of those things we need to look at. And Lakota's done a really good job, as has Butler Tech. I know I see former school board member Joan Powell. I know Matt Miller's here. I saw Todd Parnell, Linda O'Connor, all leaders of the school district. These people are doing as good a job as they can to make sure our students are ready and prepared.
All right, we're staying on schools, but we're shifting a little bit here. We've got a lot of questions. Well, you see right here, we got a lot of questions from a lot of areas, but we got about 7 or 8 questions here on school and gun safety. So obviously, everybody, if you live in Butler County, you know Sheriff Jones, his position on wanting teachers or staff armed in the schools. We have the school safety tax. So just a general question. What is your position on guns in the schools, and how do you fix school safety to make sure schools are safe? And I think we are on Kathy up now.
Yeah, so wow, as a parent of 4 kids, 3 of them are still in Lakota and one's in Ohio State, this is what keeps me up at night. School shootings. Well, that and debates, I'm also a gun owner, and I support the Second Amendment. There is no easy answer, but I don't support arming teachers. What I do support is the state working with local school boards to implement what works best in their districts to keep their buildings safe. Like a well-trained officer in every building, such as Lakota has done. But we also need to support students who are feeling isolated or who are struggling, and make sure that we have the resources there. Many school districts are incorporating wraparound programs with mental health therapy and treatments there. We need representatives who don't have a vested interest in the gun industry, to be frank, because we need representatives who are willing to put people over politics and special interests, to find common sense solutions to prevent gun violence, like increasing and expanding our background checks and closing the gun show loophole. You know, most Ohioans favor those things. If we work together and put people over political parties and special interests, we can work together and figure out how to solve the issue of violence in school.
Mr. Lane?
I do support, in certain circumstances, arming school personnel. Every time I talk about this question, I can't get this image out of my head. It's not an image I saw, but it's an image of the story I was told when Sandy Hook happened. That principal, remember? She loved her students so much. When she saw the armed gun guy, armed asshole, I'll call him, at the end of the hallway, she went running at him with nothing more than a shoe to throw to stop. Obviously, she was a quick and instant victim. But what if she was armed? What if she was able to take cover? Because this happened early on in the incident. What if she was able to stop him? Think of all the lives that would be, kids that would be alive today. The carnage that society would have been spared. And all of the stuff that those families are going through. You know, I look at what happened on September 11th. When those heartless, faceless, cowardly bastards took their planes and rammed them into our buildings, killing our moms, our dads, our grandmas and granddaddies, our sons and daughters, our brothers and sisters. What did the airlines do? They started the federal DEC program for pilots. Pilots that went through very stringent and comprehensive training were now allowed to carry a gun. What are the results? We haven't had a September 11th since 2001. Think of the psychology of these people that are shooting up. They're looking for soft targets. The airline said our passengers are precious enough that we're willing to take that chance. I think our students, the future of our country, is precious enough that it's worthwhile at least taking a chance and see what happens.
Can I have a quick response to that?
Yeah, go ahead, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, George. I definitely think that, you know, I could get behind something like an air marshal model for sure. What I can't get behind is a concealed carry, a teacher with a concealed carry. I have my concealed carry license, and an 8-hour class and a few hours on that range is not enough training to prepare someone for that horrible, unthinkable incident. I can just tell you a little anecdote from my class. There was a woman in there, you know, with her firearm on the range, and she's supposed to hold it straight down the range, but she's looking over at us asking questions, and she passed.
Can I rebut?
Real quick.
So I think Kathy's right on that. What the federal aviators did, the airlines, they made the training so stringent and so comprehensive, and currently FASTER offers a program. It takes years to get through it for teachers at no cost whatsoever. But in my opinion, nobody should be allowed to carry to school if all they have is their concealed carry permit. The training needs to be stringent. Kathy, you're right.
And just a real quick question, I just want a yes or no. Do you support the school safety tax that's coming up in November, yes or no? Kathy?
I don't know enough about it. I apologize.
Mr. Lane?
I don't think we get to vote on it since Lakota opted out.
Two politicians and answers.
If I had the chance to vote for it, I would probably vote no. Yeah.
I think we're after the meeting. We've got next on the list. That's correct. We're getting down to the end here, so
We got about 10 minutes left.
we're going to
Close
we'll shift gears to a little more positive, I think. What can a state representative do? We talked about education, this thing, you know, the employment skill gap. And we talked about trade schools and all that. What can you do as a state rep to support policies, programs that we close, whether it's college, whether it's trade school, and how do you do that as a state rep? How do you see the role of the state in closing that? If you want Ohioans to stay here, we have to prepare them to work here. How do we do that?
Mark, to close which gaps?
What's that employment skill gap?
I'm sorry.
Employment skills.
Employment skill.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
we don't have people that know how to work here, we can't hire them.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, and as I said, one of the 4 pillars is workforce development. So there's a whole lot of different things that looks like. Right now, we don't have enough workers to fill the jobs. Well, there are many people that I tend to agree with. We come up with a treatment program for users in jails, and while they're in the treatment program, let's get them trained to be productive citizens. We have 49,000 people in in Ohio jails, costing Ohioans over $2 billion a year. I don't know that we have a workforce development issue. We have an allocation of assets issue. America has more people in jail than communist China. They have what, 2 billion residents? We have 350 million. We have more people in American jails than all 36 unions of the European Union, all the nations of the European Union combined. Are Americans really that much worse than the rest of the world? I don't think so. I think we tend to be better. So, Mark, I think one of the keys to your question is we've got a workforce. We just have to treat them and train them. Yeah, it's going to cost money, but in the long term, it's going to save the taxpayers an incredible amount of money when we can take someone off of being a burden on the tax system to being a producer for the tax system.
Well, we seem to agree on a lot. I really agree with you on that, George. I think it's important that we do consider that we have a workforce development opportunity with people that we are imprisoning for things we probably don't need to have them in prison for. And you're right, we have lost over 500,000 working people from the state of Ohio in the last 10 years, and that's one of the reasons our tax base is shrinking. I think as a state legislator, part of your role is to serve as an ambassador to your community and to the state, really, and to build networks and relationships with businesses and other stakeholders and labor unions and all over the place, so that you can identify where those opportunities are to create new job training programs and apprenticeship programs. You talk about the skills gap. Look, it's absolutely important that we train highly skilled workers to be prepared for the jobs of the future. We are very technology-based, and that is going to be critical. But we are also looking at construction jobs, where we need well-trained employees to work there. And these places, these employers are paying very well and providing good benefits. And as a state legislator, when you build those relationships and you partner, you can do these things without costing taxpayers any dollars. You just create new opportunities and innovation. That's how I think we can, if we work together, we can expand those opportunities.
Kathy?
I did a lot. That's the first high five I've seen. All right, we're getting close to wrapping up here. So, Kathy, this was going to go to you. What is your economic vision for the citizens in the 52nd House District?
Well, we're doing pretty well as it is. I think the citizens of the 52nd House District, we are, I think, the second most prosperous district in the state. So I think we need to continue and expand on that. We still have quite a few folks who are living in poverty. And I think it might come as a surprise to some people in this room that about 20% of Lakota's kids are considered in need, for lack of a better word, from the state of Ohio Department of Education, and 40% of Fairfield's kids are as well. We've got to make sure that we are bringing good paying jobs to all of Ohio and to this district, right? And that includes partnering with regional opportunities and bringing transit here and making our community as vibrant as possible, because people want to live in good communities and businesses want to come where their people want to live.
George, you're up.
Kathy's right. Our district is the second most prosperous district. Our average median household income is it's less than $50 away from being number one. And I'm convinced if our 3 townships stay on the track we're on, we are going to make it number one. We still, however, have a poverty problem. We have pockets in Westchester, Fairfield, and Liberty of deep poverty. And a lot of people like to say, you know, we have racial issues in America. I don't believe that. I believe we have poverty issues in America. Poverty breeds insanity. It breeds low self-esteem. It breeds promiscuity. It breeds criminality. It is a poverty issue. And we must continue to do better to address the poverty issue. Anybody here that understands the laws of supply and demand, you know why poverty, although it's still in our district, is very small, because we have put business first and increased jobs. And the laws of supply and demand say as you increase demand, wages will go up so people are more prosperous. But we can do more. We can take the Ohio model, the Westchester model, to Ohio. Let me just read the mission statement from our Business First caucus that I started. I wrote this, and all of the members agreed to this. We believe a state cannot thrive without a strong business presence. We, the Business First caucus, exist to promote, advance, and protect business interests and entrepreneurship by eliminating barriers for expansion and job creation. Our mission is to make Ohio the most prosperous state in the nation by making Ohio the most business-friendly state in America, to inspire companies to do great things and to financially dominate the other states. Steve, it's my hope when your son is finished with his NFL kicking career that he's going to come back in Ohio and there's going to be an opportunity for him to do whatever he wants to do, to be whatever he wants to be.
Last question.
All right, and just to clarify, there is a school district in the 52nd, Fairfield Township part of it, the Fairfield School District, they are voting on that safety tax, so.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna end up here more of a, kind of a, what's your role type of question here. So what is the role and the relationship in building bridges and partnerships with our neighbors like Warren County as a state representative? And what is your role as a state representative to work with across the aisle? Because Kathy, if you are elected, you're going to be in the minority. George, you will remain in the majority, but you still have to work across the aisle to get some stuff done.
Well, absolutely. I would tell you, my campaign motto is people over politics, and I believe that with everything I have, that it's important to put political parties and special interests aside and work on building relationships, not only with your colleagues across the aisle, on your same side of the aisle, but also outside of the State House and outside of the organization that you're with, and with a variety of other community organizations and neighboring groups and neighboring communities. Because when you do that, you're putting the people first. You're uncovering what the needs are in these communities, and you're also figuring out ways that you can be innovative and partner to solve the problems together. It's really, really important that we move past partisan labels and we move past which side we're on, how we believe and all of that, and figure out what is important to the people. How can we come together, both in the State House and local communities, local counties, to make our areas more prosperous, to bring more folks out of poverty, to strengthen our education, and to make our area more vibrant.
I think everyone in this room can agree the discourse in America, the political discourse in America, it is an all-time low. Anybody disagree with that? The hypocrisy on the left and the hypocrisy on the right, both parties are guilty of this. It is at an all-time low. I'm so glad. First time I met Kathy, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, campaigning at a football game, by the way. I was hoping she wasn't there, but she was. We made a commitment to run a powerful, positive campaign and to show and explain to everybody where we stand on the issues and not get down in the mud and not make it personal. And Kathy, you have not only my word that I will do that, you have my word that I will not allow my supporters to do that as well. So it's a great question. What do you do to work across the aisle? Well, the first thing, one of the key things you do is you find common ground with people from the other party. By the way, I got sworn in September 13th of last year. I was up there my second week. Not one Republican came down and offered to buy me lunch. First one to buy me lunch, Bridget Kelly, a Democrat from Hamilton County. By the way, we had a wonderful lunch, disagreed on everything we talked about, but she's a beautiful being, and I think very highly of her. But you have to find areas where you have common ground. So there's another Democrat named Dan Ramos who's a Latino. By the way, George Lang is not my birth name. I was born George Fabian Fajardo. So I'm one of only 3 Latinos in the State House. So Dan and I partnered on some legislation to recognize Latinos. I ran into Janice Boyd, who, like myself, grew up their formidable years in foster care. I believe Janice and I are the only 2 legislators that spend our early years in foster care. And as a result of that, she and I are partnering to make some, we have co-sponsored legislation to try to fix some of the things that are wrong in the foster care system. You'd be surprised, Kathy and I have agreed on a lot of things tonight. Mike, you'd be surprised how much you agree with people on the other side.
Just to end this, in the name of civility, in the name of good fun, please say something kind or something you admire about your opponent.
Wow, there are a lot of things. I will say that from the first moment that I met George, he's been very outgoing and friendly. And, you know, every time I see him from now on, he gives me a nice warm hug. And I just truly feel like, look, we have a bet going. It's not really a bet, it's a promise. That when this is over, what is it, the winner or the loser? Do you remember? I think the winner buys the drinks.
Yeah, the winner buys a cocktail.
We're going out one way or another. So this is not, you know, animosity. We have disagreements on some things and different ways as to how we should reach goals, but it's good.
Yeah. So I can say a lot of great things about Kathy. She's beautiful, she's friendly, she's nice, much cuter than I am. Anybody disagree? Perfect, that's unanimous. But what I really appreciate about Kathy is how she has inspired her supporters. Look at you guys here. This is in a seat that she probably is way behind. But she is working hard. She's inspired an army of people to go out there and work for her. And anybody that has that kind of charisma that can get people to follow her, you're doing something right.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay, I guess that's my cue.
Closing statements?
Yeah, closing statements.
Do an hour? I mean, a minute? A minute.
Yeah, go ahead, a minute each, and
Go ahead.
Mr. Lang, you're up.
Yes, go
And
ahead.
I think I go first, but
Yes.
you went first.
Yep.
So as I said earlier, I'm one of only 3 Latinos. I was born George Fabian Fajardo. My mama had me 1 month after she turned 23 years old. My older sister, 8 years my senior, almost 8 years. You can do the math. Shortly after I'm born, my paternal father, who's just a kid himself, takes off. My mom is left with 5 kids, 3 of us in diapers, no education, no job skills, no marketable skills. Shortly after that, she has a nervous breakdown, and I become a ward of the state. And I spent my early years in foster care. And one of the things I've learned, one of the things I've tried to inspire, it's why I love seeing all the young people here, it's not where you start that counts, it's where you finish. And I've learned to believe in the power of the individual, not the power of the collective. And I believe that's what our founding fathers had in mind when they created America. A community where the individual was more important. If you agree with me and you feel that we are overtaxed, overburdened, overgoverned, and overregulated, I humbly ask for your vote in November. Thank you.
Kathy?
We have knocked on thousands of doors and talked with countless people. And I will tell you, they are tired of polarization. They're tired of finger pointing and negativity, and frankly, they're tired of politics as usual. Voters have a choice this fall. It's one between the same old politics of polarization or a brand new leadership that brings people together in common cause to get things done. We need representatives who will work for the hardworking families in Ohio. I'm running for state representative because I believe in a fair representation and because we deserve thoughtful and collaborative leadership that puts families and communities first. A good leader is mindful of the fact that they are not elected to represent their political party or their special interests or donors or even their friends. They should be mindful of the fact that they are elected to represent everyone in their district, even those who disagree with them. I look forward to a future when we're working together and we are past petty divisions. It is time to rise above partisan labels and focus on our shared values. I'm Kathy Wyman, and I ask for your vote for state representative.
Thank you very much. Let's give them a.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think, huh? Very good. I'm Joe Hinson with the Westchester Liberty Chamber Alliance, a proud partner with Miami University, putting tonight on. Tonight is a special night in the Westchester Liberty area. If you don't think that we don't live in a great place here in Westchester Liberty, work in a great place, be able to do things that we're doing in this region, I mean, this is the best place to live in the U.S. What do you think, huh? We want to thank once again our candidates, George and Kathy. You guys did a great job. I think you spoke from the heart. You were very passionate. Let's hear it for them again, huh? And we also want to thank our moderators tonight. Dr. Mark Morris was with Miami University, Mike Pittman from the Journal News, and Lee Geiger from Ray. Let's hear it for them, huh? And we couldn't put this event on without Miami University. This is the first time we've had the opportunity to partner with them, the regionals together in one Miami. Sarah, you and your team, a great job. Let's hear it for Miami. I would be remiss not to thank our Government Issues Committee from the Westchester Liberty Chamber Alliance. We meet monthly. Linda O'Connor's here, the chair of our committee. Chamber, thank you very much for your support. We have our team here. Let's thank the Chamber also, huh? Our community so good is we have the support from Westchester Township and Liberty Township. Tonight we have community television here. You're going to see this on TV if you have access to community television with Westchester Township. Let's hear it for community television being here from Westchester. We want to thank you all for attending. This is a great turnout. We were just talking about this. And there's going to be other opportunities throughout the county. I can tell you there's not going to be a better debate throughout this county than what we have tonight. So give yourselves a hand, huh? As we mentioned before, if you want to register, you're not a registered voter yet, you can now do that today up through October the 9th. Early voting begins October the 10th, so if you want to vote early, October 10th. But make sure you get out there to vote. November 6th is the key day to vote. Get out there to vote. We want to get that vote out there. Your vote does matter. If you want to talk to the candidates, they're going to be here. We have cookies and refreshments outside. Thank you for being here tonight. Have a good evening. We'll see you soon. Thank you.